皆さんこんにちは、花です。今日、メダリスト第12話を見ています。来週が最後のエピソードですから、ちょっと悲しいです。でも、他にも楽しみにできることがたくさんありますね。私、嬉しくさせます。皆さん、いつも見てくれてありがとうございます。グッドボタンとチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Medalist episode 12. This week is the penultimate episode, so we are coming to a close on this show. This has been such an exciting journey, but I'm really looking forward to what is going to happen after this. We're keeping our fingers crossed for a season 2 announcement, hopefully. I really hope so. But truly, this has just been such a fun ride. I will probably talk a little bit more about that at the end of next episode, but super thankful for all of you coming along for this ride. I am thinking about reading the manga and actually starting from the beginning and maybe making a few videos kind of regarding the manga and what I picked up from there that wasn't in the anime. So let me know if you're interested in that. But that'll come after my trip because I leave for Japan in less than 2 weeks now, so I will probably start that series after I come back just because I'm gonna focus on being on vacation. Last episode, our summer training camp started, and we got a little bit of a breather. However, Inori did land a double axel and a triple sow in the last episode. So I'm kind of interested to see where these last 2 episodes are gonna go. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do any competing. I think Ryo is also a character that's getting a little bit more attention in the show right now, so I'm hoping we get a little bit more about him as well and see some growth from him. I relate to him a lot as well because I saw a lot of skaters that I helped get them started pass me up throughout my time. So it's interesting to see that side of things, especially with Inori being the main character and being a bit of a genius and being able to land things very quickly. But I don't really know what to expect in this episode, so I think we're going to just dive right in. But before we do, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts on today's episode. Also, I am thinking about reacting to some real life skating. I've already reacted to the MV and then the short program version of Bow and Arrow, and honestly I was thinking of going back and watching past World Championships. Worlds is actually coming up next week, although I don't think I'll be able to really record during it because my next week is very busy. But if you're interested in more figure skating videos, let me know in the comments below as well. I'd be happy to make more. Finally, don't forget to follow me on my socials. I am at Hinamale on Instagram if you're interested in more of my cosplay and figure skating and Japan content that I'll be getting coming up in a few weeks. And then you can follow me on TikTok and X at lookingnerdy. X is, of course, my random thoughts throughout the day. There's all kinds of random stuff that goes on there. Pretty much is whatever I feel like. And then on TikTok, you can get more of my Demon Slayer short form content. But with that, we're gonna dive right into it. Oh yeah, that's right. Cockroaches and his coach. I really don't know why he felt like he had to carry him like this. That looks painful. That's right, okay. Oh, okay. I'm excited for this. She's all smug. All right, what's he gonna do? That's something that ice dancers can do, is they can generate speed so quickly because they have so much control over their blade. Because that was his idol growing up. Okay. So doing a spin where you start at one speed and then you accelerate in the middle of the spin, very obviously, that is a feature that can get you a level. It's been that way for a long time, but recently, because it's become harder to get levels in spins than it used to be, apparently skaters will purposefully start spinning slower so that they can get that feature easily, which is kind of crazy, and it's very, very, like, not dangerous, but kind of, because if you start the spin too slow, you're going to get that level for the accelerated speed, but you're going to see a lower grade of execution on the spin. So kind of interesting. Yeah, because he's an ice dancer. There is a big difference between ice dance and the rest of skating, so it's like the control that he has over his blade is amazing. Like, we need more skaters that have like ice dance skills when they're skating in solo. I think we as a sport just need to start having everyone learn like at least the basics of ice dance. And this is a good reminder for him that it's not just the jumps. That's a big comment that he just made. Hello? That looked like a double axel. Oh my gosh. I'll explain why I'm crying. I know I mentioned right at the beginning of this video that I can relate to Rio, but every episode reminds me Tsukasa is way better of a skater than I ever got to be, but his story is so relatable, but also, like, it's kind of tragic because what we're seeing right here is he fundamentally is top tier skater, right? And he, like what Rio said, he might even be better than Jun, right? And that's huge because Jun is an Olympic medalist, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember the last time they mentioned how, like, what he actually got, but I think he's an Olympic medalist at least. And Tsukasa is in a situation where he started so late, but no one was there to believe in him when it was important. This sport is so stuck on the idea that you have to start young, that you have to be 3, 4, 5 years old. Even, like, I started at 6. That's considered the high end of starting on time. And it's so true that the later you start, the less people are going to believe in you. And there are, of course, the skaters that are getting the opportunity and break through, but Tsukasa wasn't able to do that because he just never had someone to believe in him. He didn't have a coach for the longest time. He was just figuring it out. And then when he did get coaches, it was very like, it's not that they didn't believe in him, it's that they probably just didn't put as much attention into him. And he tried so hard to get somewhere. And I didn't start late, but I had a lot of things happen to me that caused me to have to take breaks because figure skating is expensive. I've said that so many times, but I don't even know where I'm going with this. I told myself before I recorded that I don't have a ton of time, so I can't ramble, but just seeing that happen, seeing him just go out there and skate like that, and knowing that he could have been absolutely amazing, but it's just the sport has still so far to go with believing in people no matter what time they start, no matter how old they are when they start. And Tsukasa is truly a character that represents how difficult it is in skating, no matter how good you are, to have people on your side if you simply start late. And I think it makes me super thankful for this show, because this show is going to hopefully start helping push that envelope a little bit more to continue to make sure that skaters who start late still get the attention and the support that they deserve, because everyone deserves that. Anyway. Takes me back to summer training again, because we had to do that. If you skated on the last session of the day, they would throw snow out for us, and we would all have to fill up the holes before the Zamboni came out to help smooth over the big holes that we make. He realizes everything he's been saying is not quite right. You can't judge someone just based off of what jumps they can do, which I still think he did a double axel, so that's still impressive, something I never got to do, so. So this is what we call the Tanjiro effect. Tsukasa followed him around, stayed positive the entire time he was talking to him, no matter what, and now Ryo is starting to change and see the difference. Gonna change the saying Tanjiro effect into the Tsukasa effect. He wrote down his goals. Oh! Me. Oh. Who are you? New character? Oh, we know each other. A special guest coach? Just like staring at him like, Aww. I was gonna say, those look like ballet outfits. Oh, he's a ballet coach. Okay. Ballet is something that is very commonly done for figure skaters. Most skaters will get some kind of ballet training because it helps with your lines, your toe point, your finger placement. But it's very, randomly very difficult because it's very detailed. Usually skaters will just learn the basics to help, but as soon as it starts getting complicated, we're like, no thanks. as soon as they would start putting on music, I'd be like, ah. I could never remember the names of each element. They're all like Russian names, and I very much struggled to remember those names. No, you need to be the full package. Oh. He grabs Tsukasa. You don't badmouth ballet in front of the ballet teacher. Come on. He just got serious. Dang. Can what? That's why a lot of skaters do find ballet annoying, because you genuinely have to be aware of every inch of your body. That's why it's difficult to us. We're used to going out on the ice and kind of, we are aware of our bodies, but at the same time, as long as we can land the jumps, it's like, okay, cool. But ballet fundamentally, like I said earlier, teaches you how to be aware. It teaches you finger placements even. So it's going to help you just become aware of your body as a whole. And that's why ballet is so important, is it just makes you aware of everything that's happening while also helping with your flexibility, helping with your toe point, helping with your lines, making you a more all-together well-rounded skater. So I like that they're bringing up. Did he do a triple in the air? Like he was jumping in the air? I don't know if ballet teachers can actually do that. We're kind of out of my realm right now, so maybe. I only did ballet for a little while. Posture. I've always struggled with posture. I'm like instantly aware that I'm slouching. You gotta take it seriously, Mike. Such a random moment. It showed her with her skates on with no guards in the middle of like dirt and stuff, and like my figure skating brain instantly got chills thinking about having your blade on anything like that. You completely ruined them. I know it was just like a visual, but I was like, oh. It all has to work together as one piece of work. Yeah. Double axel. Very nice. Okay. Are we going to be taking the test next episode? Is that where we're going to end? I don't know where I'm wondering where this is going to end, and I really want a season 2, like tomorrow. Is she going to land a triple sound? Yay! Land it, let's go. Let's go. Come on, you can do it. Feed off of the energy of everyone else rather than being annoyed by it, rather than letting that get you down. He did it! Oh, she gonna go for a triple? Okay, now you know what, go do it. If you can land a triple, it's usually not impossible to put a double at the end, because you already know how to land doubles. Okay, so she wasn't able to do it. So I've talked a lot about, well, not really talked, but they've shown a lot about how the skaters around you can affect the way you train. Because in Ryo's case, having these skaters be better than him all the time has really affected him poorly, where he becomes unable to see what he can do. He becomes so just like negative about his own skating that he got to the point where he had kind of given up. But putting himself in this new environment and understanding, like, and seeing Tsukasa skate and understanding that it's not just, okay, he can land the jumps, but it's the fundamentals, and then being okay with being taught by someone and opening up to that, and then watching your training mates land things, that can really help you. So I like that Ryo is now going the opposite direction, where it still is like these skaters are pushing him because they're landing things before him, but instead of just being negative about it and, losing confidence, he is using that as fuel. And I think it's partially because these skaters are all the same level. Like, they're all working on the same thing. And that can really happen when you're in, like, a summer training camp, or just in general, like, two people are working on the same thing. You get competitive. Like, figure skaters are inherently competitive because that's what we do. Like, at the end of the day, we are training to compete, so having a little bit of friendly competition can be super helpful. So that just made me really excited, because I remember the way I landed a double Lutz was when we had a training class, and my coach taught a slightly different entry to me to help with my outside edge, because I am a chronic flutzer, which means I switch to the inside edge right before I take off, so I'm not actually doing a Lutz, and I won't get the full base value for it. She had us do a different turn in front of it, and all of us at the same-ish level were working on it, and we all were like kind of competing against each other and how many times we can land it. And I had never landed a double Lutz before, and I landed it that day, and it just, like, seeing these kinds of scenes just really brings back so many memories of those times where you feed off of the energy around you, and you have to just choose if the energy that you feed off of is positive. And I think it's partially because this training environment is much more positive than the training environment with June, and it's just really sweet, and that made me very happy. I don't know where Mike was. I was kind of assuming she was still close to Inori's level. We are getting to that point now where I'm seeing a lot of skaters in the show just like make huge strides forward jump-wise that take years and years, and it's only been like 8 months since Inori and Mike were doing like double Saukaus. So is that super realistic? No. However, they're still basing so much of the show in realism, and it still represents such good things within the sport. I can take it. Also, where I paused it, their faces, mood. And it's interesting that now she's... There we go. Triple-double. It usually doesn't take long. If you can land the triple consistently, the triple-double is easy, because if you've mastered your doubles, which you probably have if you can land triples consistently, throwing a double at the end is, like, easy work for a skater. It's a triple-triple. That would be more, like, of a big hurdle to get through. Wait, what? We didn't get to do any outdoor stuff at the end of summer training because way too hot where I live. Even at nighttime. Way too hot. Mm-hmm. She has nothing to prove. You have to find motivation in a different way. you do have to say goodbye to the person that's trying to prove something all the time, and hello to someone who doesn't have to prove anything anymore. How many times did I cry that episode? That was Medalist. Episode 12, we got one to go. I feel like I kind of touched on everything that I really wanted to, but yeah, I think the best thing about this show has been the theming of what it means to start late. And Tsukasa truly was kind of a victim of that mindset of skating. Not even kind of, just a complete victim of that mindset in skating. And I don't know how intense that mindset is truly in Japan because I never grew up there. I grew up in the States, and it was that case there, you know. I very much remember having coaches talk to parents, and they just said, you know, if they're 12, 13, 11, you know, it's very late. And not all of them would just say, give up. They would coach them, because at the end of the day, like, coaches are coaches, and this is a career. They have to make money. But there is something to be said about the level of support that those skaters get. And I'm not saying that all coaches are, you know, unsupportive brats that just as soon as you hit a certain age they just don't care about you. They do, but there's a level of difference, and you're working against the clock. And a lot of coaches just have a mindset, because of the way the sport has been for so long, that if you don't have your double axel by the time you're 12, you might as well give it up, right? So seeing Tsukasa go out there and just skate with his heart, and also kind of going off of the whole age thing, just seeing him skate so strongly and smoothly, and helping Rio understand that skating is not just the jumps. I kind of talked a lot about that when I was reacting to the bow and arrow stuff, because Yuzuru Hanyu has always been a skater that truly is everything. And as a sport, because the technical element score has a much higher ceiling, you can score 130 points in technical elements as a senior man, but your program component scores, they max out at 190? Somewhere around there in the free skate. So it becomes very, very uneven with the scoring when someone can go out there and do jump after jump after jump. Well, they're still going to end up beating out the skaters that are strong all around. And that's like a fundamental issue with our scoring system and stuff that we're not going to dive into too much here, because I did want to make this video quick so I could edit it quickly, and I'm not doing that. But Rio needs to understand that a person can know how to coach, and that what Tsukasa knows is going to be even more helpful for him in the long run, because of how much control he has over his skates because of his ice dance. So I'm rambling. I think that's all I wanted to say. There's a lot of thoughts in my head just because of how personal this episode was to me, just seeing Tsukasa get out there and talk about never giving up, even when everything worked against him. No, I didn't start late, but I had a lot of things happen to the point where I was late, and I never got anywhere because of it. It's personal. I don't know how this video turned out. I guess we'll see how it turned out in editing, but that is going to be it for today's episode. If you liked it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts. Also follow me on social media at Hinamalay on Instagram and at lookingnerdy on TikTok and X. With that, I will see you all for the season finale next week. Mata ne!